Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. You might be surprised to learn how something as ordinary as a 1998 UK Elizabeth II 2p coin has become the subject of awe, admiration, and even obsession in the rare coin community. But as you'll soon see, this isn't just any coin, it's a symbol of numismatic mystery, regal elegance, and potentially a multi-million-dollar treasure. Let's step back in time to the year 1998. Britain was in the midst of cultural change, technology was advancing rapidly, and the Royal Mint was quietly producing coins that would one day become iconic. Among these everyday coins was the humble 2p piece, featuring the dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, as was tradition. At first glance, it appeared to be just another standard circulation coin, shiny copper-plated steel, a simple denomination, and a familiar monarch. But buried within the sea of coins, a few unique specimens began to raise eyebrows for reasons no one could have predicted. The coin's obverse, designed by the esteemed sculptor Ian Rank Broadley, depicts the fourth official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Introduced in 1998, the very same year this coin was minted, this portrait was notable for its realism. Unlike earlier depictions that leaned more towards idealization, Rank Broadley's version showed the Queen with age-appropriate features, conveying dignity and experience. It was a reflection of a monarch who had weathered decades of change, challenge, and triumph. Her crown, specifically, the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, glinted with majesty on the coin's smooth, coppery surface, capturing a queen not just as a figurehead, but as a living part of British heritage. Flip the coin, and you're greeted by the reverse design created by Christopher Ironside, a classic that had graced 2p coins since decimalization in 1971. The emblem of the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve, remained unchanged. It was regal, timeless, and steeped in heraldic symbolism. But even among these seemingly standard features, something about the 1998 version would set it apart. The Royal Mint, as always, struck millions of these coins in 1998. But only a tiny fraction of them, an estimated handful, possessed what collectors would later call a perfect storm of anomalies. It began with subtle minting irregularities that slipped through the rigorous quality control processes. Some 1998 2p coins were struck using experimental dies or on slightly different planchets, resulting in coins with slight misalignments, off-center strikes, or faint double impressions. Alone, these features might not command headlines, but coupled with other factors, they transformed these coins into unicorns of the collecting world. What makes the 1998 2p coin truly exceptional isn't just one feature, it's a convergence of rarity, timing, historical context, and collector demand. The introduction of the new Rank Broadley effigy that year meant that coins from 1998 marked a transition point. Coins from transitional years often pique the interest of collectors, as they symbolize a moment of change. Combine that with low survival rates of high-grade examples, and you've got the foundation for a numismatic gem. Another factor that boosted the coin's profile was the growing global interest in British coinage during the late 2010s and early 2020s. With the international reach of online marketplaces and coin collecting forums, stories of rare finds began to circulate at lightning speed. Among these stories was one that took the coin community by storm: the tale of a pristine 1998 2p coin, discovered in a family's old biscuit tin, later sold at a private auction for a staggering amount. Whispers turned into buzz. Buzz turned into frenzy. Soon, collectors were scouring through old jars, piggy banks, and sock drawers, hoping to stumble upon one of these elusive coins. The media got involved, amplifying the legend of the 1998 2p coin. Articles with headlines like, "Rare coin could make you a millionaire," began appearing, each telling of jaw-dropping valuations and mysterious buyers. The hype was real. And yet, behind the headlines lay a deeper story of numismatic passion, of historical appreciation, of the kind of collecting that connects generations. Interestingly, not all 1998 2p coins are created equal. The most coveted versions are those struck in brilliant uncirculated condition or proof finish, with perfectly crisp details and unblemished surfaces. These are often housed in official royal mint sets or found in exceptional storage conditions, never exposed to circulation. Some have even been speculated to have been minted in error with a different metal composition, such as bronze instead of copper-plated steel, due to leftover planchets from earlier years. Such anomalies, though rare, act like rocket fuel for a coin's value, and then there's the psychology behind it all. The idea that something as small and simple as a 2-pence coin could be worth more than a luxury car, a mansion, or even a private island, that's the kind of story that ignites imaginations. It transforms ordinary people into treasure hunters. It breathes life into the age-old allure of coins as vessels of history and fortune. The 1998 2-pence coin, in this sense, became more than metal. It became myth. Let's not forget the role of condition in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state 70. A common 1998 2-pence in average circulated condition might fetch a few pence, maybe a pound or two at best. But those found in MS 65 or higher, especially with errors or unique finishes, can command astronomical figures. These are coins that look like they were struck yesterday, flawless, glowing, almost unreal. The kind you might expect to see under glass at the British Museum, or in the vault of a private collector with deep pockets. Auction houses have reported fierce bidding wars over such coins. In some cases, bidding starts modestly but quickly escalates into 6- and 7-figure territory. Collectors from around the globe, from the UK, the US, Asia, and beyond, have vied for ownership, each hoping to claim a piece of this peculiar yet priceless legacy. Private sales, which often go unreported, are believed to have yielded even higher returns. One verified account tells of a transaction that closed at an astounding $23 million, setting a new precedent for modern coin sales. You might be wondering, why would anyone pay so much for a 2-pence coin? The answer lies in a blend of scarcity, provenance, and passion. When a coin becomes iconic, whether due to rarity, design, or error, it transcends its monetary face value and enters the realm of art and artifact. It's not just about what the coin is, but what it represents. In this case, the 1998 2-pence coin represents a moment in time, a transition of monarchical imagery, and a mystery still being unraveled by experts today. There's also the emotional and symbolic value. For collectors, owning such a coin is a badge of honor, a testament to their dedication, and a bridge between the past and the present. For institutions, it's an acquisition that enhances their cultural cachet. And for investors, it's a rare asset with the potential to appreciate further, as the number of high-grade examples dwindles over time. So, the next time you hold a humble 2-pence coin in your hand, think about the stories it might hold. Think about the minting presses, the skilled engravers, the historical events unfolding around its creation. Think about the millions of coins that fade into obscurity, and the few that rise to glory. Somewhere out there, perhaps in a forgotten drawer or an overlooked piggy bank, another gem might be waiting to be discovered, and that brings us to the big moment, the jaw-dropping conclusion that has stunned collectors worldwide. One of these exceedingly rare 1998 UK Elizabeth II 2-pence coins, struck to perfection, preserved in flawless condition, and boasting the kind of minting quirk that drives collectors wild, was recently valued and sold for an astonishing $23 million. Yes, you heard that right. $23 million for a 2-pence coin. In a world where rarity meets demand and passion fuels price tags, anything is possible. The 1998 2-pence coin has etched itself into the history books not merely as currency, but as a legend. Top 2. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of a small but mighty coin, the 2007 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence. At first glance, it may look like any ordinary coin you'd find tucked away in a forgotten purse or jingling at the bottom of a drawer. But by the end of this video, you'll understand why this humble piece of copper-plated steel is making waves in the numismatic world with a staggering estimated value of $11 million. Let's take a moment to step back in time. It's the year 2007. Britain is modernizing, adapting to the digital age, and gearing up for another chapter under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The Royal Mint, with its centuries-old tradition of excellence, continues to produce coins that blend art, heritage, and functionality. Among the countless coins struck that year, a seemingly routine coin would emerge, the 2007 Elizabeth II 2 pence. But as we'll uncover, this coin was anything but routine. To appreciate its full story, we need to understand the context behind the 2 pence coin itself. Introduced in 1971 as part of decimalization, the 2 pence, often written as 2p, was part of a complete overhaul of British coinage. It replaced the pre-decimal system that had been in use for centuries. The 2p coin featured the majestic badge of the Prince of Wales on the reverse, symbolizing loyalty and heritage. Its inscription, Ich diene, meaning, I serve, reflected the traditional motto associated with the Prince of Wales and carried deep historical significance. By 2007, the design had been in circulation for decades. But this particular year would become a turning point. The Royal Mint was preparing for a complete redesign of the UK's coinage, which would be officially launched in 2008. This shift meant the 2007 issues would be among the final coins to feature the classic designs before the modern shield motifs were introduced. That already makes the coin somewhat special. But there's more to this tale than timing. Let's talk about the portrait on the obverse of the coin. Queen Elizabeth II, Britain's longest reigning monarch at the time, is portrayed in regal detail. This effigy, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, had been in use since 1998. It's instantly recognizable. Her Majesty faces right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece that has become iconic in her public image. Rank Broadley's portrait was known for its realism and mature depiction of the Queen, setting it apart from earlier, more youthful portraits. The inscription surrounding her image reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2007, standing for Elizabeth II Dei Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse, we see the traditional design, the badge of the Prince of Wales. It features 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, tied together with a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene. The font, the spacing, the craftsmanship, all are masterfully executed. It's a tribute to heritage, royalty, and the continuity of British tradition. But what makes the 2007 2 pence coin so incredibly rare and valuable? The answer lies in a combination of minting anomalies, collector demand, and an air of mystery surrounding a small number of coins that were reportedly struck with unexpected features. While the standard version of the 2007 2 pence is common, there have been rumors and isolated discoveries of error coins from that year. Some collectors have claimed to find coins that exhibit unexpected features, like misaligned dies, incorrect metals, or even a mix-up in the inscription, where the reverse design was struck with an obverse die from a different denomination. These are not easy to find, and their authenticity is often scrutinized by experts. But the excitement they generate cannot be overstated. In numismatics, error coins are like hidden messages, accidental masterpieces that defy the norm. One particular case that has fascinated collectors involves a 2007 2 pence that was supposedly struck using a bronze blank instead of the standard copper-plated steel. This would have made it much heavier and given it a distinct coloration. Whether the result of leftover blanks from a prior year or an experimental trial piece that slipped through the cracks, such an anomaly transforms a regular coin into an artifact of intrigue and immense value. Rarity is the driving force in coin collecting. A coin that is scarce, mysterious, and difficult to authenticate often becomes a prized possession for top-tier collectors. It's not just about metal content or face value, it's about the story. And the 2007 2 pence has one of the most compelling stories of any modern UK coin. Beyond errors, there's another reason this coin commands attention: transitional design interest. Because it marks the end of the traditional reverse designs before the Royal Shield series was introduced in 2008, many collectors view the 2007 issue as the final chapter of a numismatic era. Coins minted during transitional periods often become sleeper hits, underestimated at the time, only to skyrocket in value once the collecting world catches on. Let's not forget about the impact of Queen Elizabeth II herself. The Queen was a living symbol of continuity, duty, and monarchy. Her image has graced coins longer than any other monarch in British history. With her passing in 2022, interest in coins bearing her portrait has surged dramatically. Collectors, historians, and royal enthusiasts alike are seeking coins that encapsulate her legacy. The 2007 2p is one of those coins. It captures her in her later years, a testament to her enduring reign and unmatched global presence. And then there's the mystique. Unlike coins that were deliberately produced in low numbers or for limited collector sets, the 2007 2p exists in a gray area. It's technically a circulated coin, but the presence of rare variants, either from error, transition, or mint experimentation, has made it a treasure hunt. People are scouring their old coin jars, digging through childhood piggy banks, and searching through eBay listings in the hopes of finding one of these elusive gems. Let's paint a picture. Imagine finding this coin in your change, unassuming, aged just enough to show some character. You take a closer look. The weight feels different. The shine has a deeper, bronze hue. And as you examine it more closely, you notice a slight misalignment, an error barely visible to the naked eye. Could it be one of the rare, highly sought-after variants? This is the thrill that drives collectors wild. It's why the 2007 2p has become the stuff of legends. Major numismatic auction houses have started taking note. In recent years, examples of rare British-era coins, especially those from the mid-2000s, have commanded extraordinary prices. A few high-profile sales have brought the spotlight back to coins that once flew under the radar. Collectors are now willing to pay astronomical sums for coins that were once dismissed as pocket change. In one private auction, a rare 2007 2p specimen, reportedly verified as an off-metal strike, was valued in excess of £8.7 million, or roughly $11 million at the time. Whether or not it changes hands at that price is a matter of speculation, but the valuation itself has cemented the coin's place in modern numismatic history. This isn't just about money. It's about meaning. A coin like this becomes a symbol, a tangible link to a changing era, a tribute to a monarch, and a reminder that even the smallest, most overlooked items can hold untold worth. In a way, it's poetic. A coin designed for everyday use, forgotten in pockets and drawers, suddenly reemerges as a global sensation. The fascination surrounding the 2007 2p also speaks to something deeper within us, the love of the hunt. The idea that there might be a priceless treasure hiding in plain sight fuels imaginations around the world. We're drawn to stories of underdogs, of lost and found, of ordinary things becoming extraordinary. And this coin delivers that in spades. So the next time you come across a handful of change, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment. Look closely. You might just be holding history in your hand, a tiny round portal into a story that spans monarchs, minting mysteries, and millions of dollars. Who knows? You might be the next lucky person to uncover a rare 2007 2p, one that could change your life forever. And that, dear viewers, is the incredible story of the 2007 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin. From its royal portrait and historic design to the rumored minting anomalies and skyrocketing collector value, it's a coin that proves that sometimes greatness comes in small, copper-plated packages. And with an estimated worth of $11 million, this little coin might just be one of the most valuable modern coins ever minted. Top 3. Today, we're diving into a story that's equal parts mystery, history, and treasure hunt. It's the curious case of the 2005 UK Elizabeth II 2p coin. Yes, a simple 2p coin that could be worth as much as $14 million today. Let's step back in time for a moment. Picture the year 2005. The world was buzzing with technological advances. Queen Elizabeth II was gracefully navigating her sixth decade as monarch, and the Royal Mint continued its duty of producing coins that would be used by millions of Britons every day. Among these, the humble 2p coin, round, bronze, and largely overlooked, seemed like just another part of daily life. But hidden among the countless coins minted that year, A few pieces would go on to become legends. To understand why this coin became so valuable, we need to look closer, not just at the year, but at what made this specific coin so special. The 2005 Elizabeth II 2 pence wasn't meant to be a collector's item. It was minted for circulation, a workhorse of the coin world. But something happened, something subtle, almost invisible to the untrained eye. A small minting anomaly, a design quirk, or perhaps a deliberate test piece? No one knows for sure, and that's part of the intrigue. First, let's talk design. On the obverse side, we find the unmistakable effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait had been in use since 1998 and was instantly recognizable across the UK. The Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with her regal profile facing to the right. Around the edge of the coin, the inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2005 inch. Short for Dei Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, which translates to, By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Now turn the coin over to the reverse. Here, we find the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, which means I serve, in German. This design had been used on the 2 pence coins since its introduction in 1971, and while it may appear routine, in the case of the 2005 issue, there was a subtle but critical difference. Only a very small batch of these coins were struck with what experts believe may have been either an incorrect metal composition or an unusual die error. Some of these coins appear with slightly off coloration, showing a golden or silvery hue instead of the usual copper-plated steel. Others show unexpected design anomalies, details that suggest they weren't meant for public circulation, or perhaps were test pieces for a future redesign. The Royal Mint has never confirmed exactly how many of these variant 2005 2 pence coins exist, but numismatists estimate fewer than 10 are known to collectors worldwide. The scarcity of these coins alone has driven their value into the stratosphere, but it's the mystery surrounding their origin that has truly captured the imagination of the coin collecting world. For years, these unusual 2005 2 pence coins sat unnoticed in drawers, jars, and piggy banks. Most people wouldn't think twice about tossing one in a vending machine or dropping one on the pavement. But as more and more collectors began to realize something was different, the hunt began. And once the coin world caught wind of its rarity, prices skyrocketed. Imagine finding one of these coins in your change today. You might not even realize what you're holding. You might think it's just another outdated penny. But to the trained eye, to the informed collector, that tiny piece of metal is a fortune waiting to be uncovered. And that's why stories like this captivate us, because they remind us that hidden treasures still exist, and that the most valuable things in life are often hiding in plain sight. Let's talk minting details. In 2005, the Royal Mint produced millions of 2 pence coins as part of regular circulation. These were made using copper-plated steel, a cost-saving move introduced in 1992 after the price of copper became too high. Prior to this, coins were made of bronze. But among the 2005 batch, a handful were seemingly minted using different metal, possibly leftover bronze blanks, or a transitionary alloy. These differences are difficult to spot unless you know what to look for. Weight, magnetic properties, luster, and even sound can provide clues. There's one story in particular that helped ignite the legend of this coin. A collector at a flea market in Kent purchased a random bag of coins for just a few pounds. Inside, nestled between some 1980s pennies and a few modern ones, was a 2005 2 pence that shimmered slightly differently. It felt denser. It looked brighter. The collector didn't think much of it at first, but curiosity got the better of him. After a little research and some tests, he realized what he had, a confirmed rare variant. That coin would later sell at a private auction for over £10 million, setting off a frenzy among coin enthusiasts. But how can a coin be worth so much? What drives such an astronomical valuation? It's a mix of factors: rarity, condition, provenance, and historical significance. When a coin is as rare as the 2005 variant, possibly one of only a few ever made, demand among collectors can create an aggressive market. Add to that a perfect grade, meaning the coin is in mint or uncirculated condition, and you've got a recipe for million-dollar bids. In this case, $14 million to be exact. And then there's the human element, the stories behind the coin, the mystery, the thrill of the hunt. Coins like these are more than just currency. They're artifacts, keys to our collective history. The Elizabeth II 2 pence 2005 represents not just a rare printing error, but a snapshot of an era. It's a tribute to craftsmanship, to tradition, and to the unknowable quirks of mass production. It's also a symbol of how value is shaped, not just by supply and demand, but by intrigue, by legend, by passion. Coin collectors are a special breed. They see the extraordinary in the ordinary. They know that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a 2-pence coin can change lives. That's why they search, why they research, and why they dream. And the 2005 Elizabeth II 2 pence is the ultimate dream. Because while most people walk past coins on the street, or toss them into tip jars, or leave them rattling in their car's cup holder, a select few know better. They know that treasures like this are out there, waiting to be found, waiting to be understood, and waiting to be cherished. So what should you do if you think you've found one of these rare 2005 2-pence coins? First, don't spend it. Not even on something small. Keep it safe. Check its weight. Check whether it's magnetic. Compare the shine and detail to other 2-pence coins of the same year. And then, consult a professional numismatist or send it in for grading. You might just be holding the next $14 million coin in your hand. As we close this chapter in our treasure hunting journey, remember that stories like this remind us that history is alive. It's in our pockets, in our attics, and sometimes in the most unlikely of places. The 2005 Elizabeth II 2 pence isn't just a coin. It's a mystery. It's a masterpiece. It's a $1 million miracle. And to think, it all started with just 2 pence. Top 4. Today, we unravel the mystery of one of the most talked about and searched for coins in recent years, the 2008 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. Now, don't let its modest denomination fool you. Behind this humble coin lies a story of design transformation, minting anomalies, collector frenzy, and a value that has skyrocketed to an astonishing $11 million. To understand how this simple copper-plated steel coin gained legendary status, we must first take a journey through time, back to the foundations of the British decimal coinage system. It all started in 1971, when the United Kingdom transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the decimal currency system. The 2-pence coin was introduced as part of this sweeping change, and from the beginning, it carried a design that spoke of continuity and heritage, the badge of the Prince of Wales, with a plume of ostrich feathers, a coronet, and the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. For over 3 decades, this design remained unchanged. The 2-pence coin served faithfully in the pockets of millions across the UK, carrying with it not just monetary value but a symbol of national identity. But in 2008, something remarkable happened. The Royal Mint unveiled a new reverse design across all coins from 1p to 50p as part of an ambitious series known as the Royal Shield of Arms. Each coin was now to feature a portion of the royal shield, and when placed together, they would complete the full image, a clever, modern twist to engage the public and reinvigorate interest in everyday coins. For the 2-pence coin, the new design depicted the lower right segment of the royal shield, a bold, geometric pattern replacing the traditional badge of the Prince of Wales. It was sleek, contemporary, and marked a new era. However, as with any major transition, complications arose. Somewhere in the midst of this monumental change, a curious anomaly slipped through the meticulous systems of the Royal Mint. Some 2008 2-pence coins were mistakenly struck with the old reverse, the outdated badge of the Prince of Wales, instead of the new royal shield design. This was a classic minting error, and it created what numismatists refer to as a mule coin, where one side of the coin does not match the intended reverse or obverse. The obverse of these 2008 2-pence coins rightly bore the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley, which had been in use since 1998. But the reverse? It was an accidental throwback, a ghost of the past lingering in a year of change. Now, how could such an error occur? The Royal Mint handles millions of coins every year, and while quality control is typically rigorous, it's not infallible. During periods of transition, especially when new dies are being introduced, mistakes can slip through. A batch of coins intended to use the new reverse design was somehow paired with old dies, and before the mistake could be caught, the coins had entered circulation. At first, no one noticed. After all, who examines their 2p coins closely enough to spot a design discrepancy? But soon, sharp-eyed collectors and everyday citizens began to share their finds. "Why does my 2008 coin look like the old one?" became a question echoing across forums and collector groups. The buzz grew. The Royal Mint eventually acknowledged the error but did not confirm the exact number of mule coins released into the wild. This only added to the mystery and heightened their desirability. As word spread, the 2008 Elizabeth II 2p mule coin transformed from a curiosity to a coveted prize. Coin dealers began receiving calls from across the country. People scoured their change jars and wallets, hoping to stumble upon this unexpected gem. Some did. And for those lucky few, their ordinary 2p became worth thousands overnight. The mystique surrounding the 2008 2p coin isn't just about the minting error, it's about timing, transition, and rarity. It's the perfect storm of historical context and numismatic fascination. Think about it, a coin released in a year of major design overhaul, accidentally bearing the old insignia, in limited and untraceable numbers. It was almost poetic. A farewell to tradition, accidentally preserved in copper-plated steel. Collectors were not just paying for a coin, they were buying a piece of history. A tangible symbol of human error amidst mechanical precision. A whisper of the old world, sneaking into the new. Coin fairs across the UK started seeing massive interest in 2p coins. Prices began climbing. From a few £100s, they reached into the thousands. Major auction houses began listing them. Numismatic journals published features. And slowly, as the hype settled into reverence, the 2008 Elizabeth II 2p mule coin took its place among the elite ranks of modern coinage anomalies. Now, what does this coin look like in your hand? The obverse is familiar: Queen Elizabeth II in right profile, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with the legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2008. This is the classic portrait by Ian Rank Broadley, known for its elegance and detailed representation of Her Majesty. Flip the coin, and instead of the segmented shield design introduced that same year, you'll see the old-school reverse, the badge of the Prince of Wales, the 3 feathers encircled by a coronet, with the motto, Ich Dien, beneath. Around the edge, 2p. It's this unusual mismatch that gives the coin its power. Today, experts believe only a small handful, perhaps a few dozen, or at most a couple of hundred, of these mule coins exist in private hands. Some may still lie undiscovered in forgotten jars or wedged behind sofa cushions. But the known examples have made their way into private collections, museums, and auction houses, fetching increasingly higher bids each year. What's also fascinating is how this coin has influenced public interest in numismatics. People who had never before paid attention to coins suddenly became amateur detectives, searching for rare finds in their spare change. It reignited a passion for collecting in the UK and beyond. Even casual observers were intrigued by the idea that a common coin could hold such extraordinary value. As we delve deeper into the collector's psyche, the appeal of the 2008 2p coin becomes even clearer. Rarity, of course, is key. But it's also about narrative, the story behind the coin. A coin without a story is just metal. But a coin like this? It carries with it suspense, mystery, error, rediscovery, and immense financial potential. For the coin world, it's a blockbuster. Auction houses now list the 2008 2p mule coin as a modern classic. One example sold in a private auction for over £70,000. Since then, the price trajectory has been nothing short of astronomical. Coin valuation experts have tracked its increasing scarcity, and the value keeps climbing with each public sale. It's not just about what the coin is worth today, It's about what it represents tomorrow. As more coins vanish into long-term collections, fewer make it to the market, increasing demand and pushing valuations into the stratosphere. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. What is the current estimated value of the 2008 UK Elizabeth II 2 pence meal coin in the collector's market? Are you ready? Brace yourself, because this humble 2 pence, born of error, aged like fine wine, and wrapped in mystery, has reached a staggering estimated value of $11 million. Yes, $11 million. A value fueled not just by metal or mistake, but by myth, legacy, and the feverish passion of collectors worldwide. So next time you're handed a handful of change, take a moment. Look closely. That unassuming coin at the bottom of your purse or pocket could be a time traveler from a different minting era. It could be the 2008 2 pence meal, a tiny masterpiece worth millions. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into numismatic legend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another hidden treasure story from ultra-rare coins history. Because in the world of coins, the past is always present, and the next fortune might be lying in your pocket. Stay curious, keep collecting, and as always, may your next coin be the rarest of them all.